Okay, everybody, Dr. Shadi Arafich here, surgeon, veterinary surgeon. We're going to talk about arthritis in dogs. First of all, you might be wondering why I'm wearing this shirt. It's actually a breast cancer race that I did several years ago in Central Park, New York, and the back of it says whipping cancer in the butt. And so, of course, you got the whipped cream and the little, there it is, the breast cancer thing. That was a great event. So that's why I'm wearing this shirt, just because of that great cause. We're going to talk about arthritis in dogs. If you want a more thorough look on arthritis in dogs, check out my YouTube channel. We have one there that goes over kind of a broad spectrum of ideas. This is going to be focusing on how much exercise you should allow or let or force upon your geriatric dog. The weather is getting nicer in certain parts of the United States, and so people want to go outside, of course, and combining that with the whole coronavirus thing that's currently happening in 2020, people are getting itchy to go outside, and so they want to have their dogs with them. So how much exercise is too much for your geriatric pet? Well, a couple of points to make. First of all, is exercise actually good for older pets? And you might as well just take this information and extrapolate it into the human side, because just like how you want an older person to be active, you would like an older dog to be active as well. Of course, the definition of active is going to change because you're old now, right? You've got a geriatric human being or a geriatric dog, and so they can't do what they used to do back in the day. And so we want exercise, though. We want exercise for those pets. Or for those people. So you want to have joint mobility. Why is that important? Joint mobility helps with nutrition of the joint. It helps keep the joint inherently healthy. The way that the cells that make up the joint receive nutrients is through motion. That's the most prominent way that it gets nutrition. And so we need that motion. If you don't have that motion, of course, what's going to happen with the joint? It's not going to receive the nutrition it needs. It's not going to stay healthy. It won't stay lubricated. It won't stay strong, mobile. And then from there, of course, that's where it starts. And then ligaments, tendons get affected, muscle mass gets affected, and it goes down this whole road of poor function. So, which is, of course, the unfortunate end game of end-stage arthritis. So we don't want that. We want mobility. We want to have mobility in our geriatric dogs. And so, yes, I'm going to say you want exercise with your pet. Now, the big question, of course, is, and which is more of a art rather than a science, is how much exercise do you do? And it's going to depend. It'll depend mostly on your pet, on your dog. How debilitated are they? There are some pet owners out there that are fully aware they have dogs that are older and still act like puppies. Well, in that case, those dogs can you can take them out and just gauge how much they're able to do with very little concern. But let's talk about the ones that are very questionable. And so the only way you can figure out how much exercise your dog can handle or can tolerate is by trial and error. Take your geriatric dog outside, see what they do, see what their energy level is, see what they care to do. You can tell. You've had your dog for many, many years, and so you can tell what they're willing to do, and see what their activity level is. If they're only willing to walk a block and then they're sitting down, they're done, and they don't even want to walk back home, well, then you know that a block is actually more than enough, if not too much, for that particular pet. If your dog wants to go longer. But beware, of course, the amount of distance you walk away from home is the same amount of distance you have to walk back to get home, right? So you would prefer not to carry your old dog back home after a walk that you misjudged. So start slow, and it's just like an older person, just to see what they can do. Simple exercises to start off with, something as simple as just getting up from the chair and walking outside. As an older human being, right? Can you do that? Can you do that without any pain? And so you want the same thing with the dogs too. Get them outside and let's see what they can do. And every day you can kind of push the envelope a little bit more and more every day and see what your pet can do. Don't push it. And dogs are tough because unlike a human being that'll vocalize or make it known that they're done, they're fed up with this walk or this exercise, dogs won't do that, right? They're just going to keep on going, and they'll just go. And we know that. That's one of the reasons why we love dogs so much, because of their loyalty to us and their constant excitement for life and to do things with the pet owners. So try to gauge based on your own pet's ability and desire how much they're willing to do, and every day do a little bit more. and at some point you're going to plateau, right? And whether it's just down the block or whether it's a mile or a couple of miles, that's where your dog plateaus. That's where we're done. Keeping in mind, of course, that the distance you're gonna travel from home is the same distance you have to travel to go back home. And so exercise is important, and that's a good way of trying to gauge what it is that your dog can do. The third thing results is in addition to my YouTube video, where you have things like physical therapy, acupuncture, medication, supplements, weight loss. All these things are taken into account that can help actually increase the amount of exercise your dog is willing to do. And so those things are important to find out about in my video, and also talk to your veterinarian, who of course will know your pet best on a medical level, and that'll be a helpful way of gauging means by which you can increase the amount of exercise your geriatric dog is willing to tolerate. I of course don't want to ignore cats. Obviously they fall under a similar trend. Of course cats usually don't go outside for walks, although there are people who do walk their cat. And cats are a little bit more difficult to get motivated, and so cats also are, if you think dogs are difficult in terms of hiding their signs of discomfort from arthritis, cats are way more difficult. They just will hide it. And so cats don't really show this they have this similar principles apply to cats, and the exercise is good for them, and we should gauge how much they can do. The tactics by which you try to get your cat to do stuff are different, of course. Things like laser pointers and having them chase toys and things like that are important means, as opposed to seeing how much walking they're going to do. But it's very hard to get a cat motivated to do stuff, and so the adjunctive stuff like medication, supplements, acupuncture, physical therapy, all the things that your vet's going to recommend for dogs also apply to cats. And so you should figure out a plan with your veterinarian of how to do that. But again, if there's ways that you can convince your cat without making them hate you to exercise at home in a controlled environment where they don't hurt themselves and it doesn't push them beyond their capacity, the same basic principles apply. So I hope this video helps. Please don't force your geriatric dog on long walks. If they are struggling, they're done. They're done. Don't force them. You're going to have to carry them back. And so take a step-by-step fashion when you're approaching this goal in their daily lives, because you don't want them to hurt themselves. You don't want them to resent you or resent going on walks. You want them to be happy living their life to the fullest in the next number of months, years, whatever they have left as a geriatric dog or cat. And so it's very important that we try and everything in moderation. So hope that helps you out. Check out the YouTube video for more in-depth information about those other therapies I spoke about, and be kind to your older dogs. Let them love life the way you would want your elderly family member or friend love life. So it's Dr. Shadi Arafij. We'll see you in the next video. Take care.